Hello, everyone. We're live on the interwebs. We're coming at you wherever you are watching. So, we're going to get into this. This is going to be a little bit, not too different, but we may have some time at the end to go on to another for the drama. And I want to make sure that if you guys out there are watching this in VOD or anything or live, make sure to check out forthedrama.com because that's kind of where we're playing from. Really amazing, fun game and role-playing game that nobody needs to really run. They just kind of have to set it up, and then you go for it. So really cool stuff. Go check that out. I'm going to give this over to these folks. And the first one is the For My Companions. It's all you, Kat.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kat. Tonight we have various people playing. So nobody's the DM. We're all players. But I'm Kat. And there is Nick. And there is Michael. And there is Marvin. And we shall be playing a game tonight. Maybe two. The first one, by the way, all these games are based off For the Queen by Evil Hat. I have played several Evil Hat games on the channel. I always enjoy them. I feel like there are number two company that we've run from, Magpie being the first, probably. We've run a lot of Magpie games. But anyway, from For the Queen came this sort of other site called For the Drama, where people have taken the concept and sort of made their own version of it. And tonight we're playing For My Companions. That is, well, I'm saying I'm a lot. The description. In the past, you were a group of adventurers capable of moving mountains. But time has passed, your meetings have become rarer, friendship and understanding have passed. Will you be able to reform the group for one last quest? And this game was created by Matthew Bay. Let us see how it shakes out. First thing we do is read the rules. That is actually part of the game because it's always good to have the little refresher. We're going to go through them on this first one. If we end up playing a second game, I think we can safely just skip the reading of the rules part. But without further ado, I'm going to start reading the rules. If I can get onto the right page. There we go. We take turns playing. In turn, pick a card and read it aloud. Nick, you're next.
Unmute myself. In the past, your faithful companions capable of moving mountains. You have accomplished what no one else could do.
And Michael?
Time has passed. Friendship and understanding too.
And Marvin.
But today, the team must meet again to undertake a perilous quest.
When the instruction cards are completed, we continue in turn with the question cards. Read each card aloud and answer the question asked.
Okay, yes. Other players can ask you questions or make suggestions, but they can't answer for you, and it's up to you to decide whether or not to take them into account.
Map X is located below the next and back buttons.
Okay, so that's something that, y'all can't see at home, but there's a little X underneath the digital cards we're looking at, and I'm hoping that they're going to explain that in the next card.
Yes, they do. If there is a card or an answer that you do not want to include in the story, touch the X card. This content is removed from the game.
If your card is removed from the game like this, pull a new one. You can use the X card on your own card.
Your turn. You can pass. Give your card to... Oh, you can pass. Give your card to the next player and say, I'd like to hear your answer to that question.
A question card can thus be passed from player to player until it is canceled by card X.
Continue the answer, pass, or use the X card until the final card. During the great final battle, who do you decide to save is drawn.
Each player answers the question, who do you decide to save, in turn. Then the game's over.
What is this quest? Oh, what is this quest? Go around the table. Everyone can contribute. Ooh, that's a new one.
I guess that we're doing that now.
Yeah, I think this
Or
might
are
be the
there
first.
like questions that apply to that we're going to reveal?
I think this might be the first one that
I
we.
think this
answer.
might be the first one of the
Yeah.
first questions. I'm gonna advance forward to see what the next question asks, and because I can go back.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
well, okay.
okay. So yeah, so Michael, there is another card.
Right. The player who wishes is it who's reading right now?
Michael.
Yes.
Okay. The player who wishes to do so can draw the first question card.
So okay. I feel like
let's
we should
see.
maybe
Let's
establish
see.
this quest first, and then yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the next question card really is the question.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know what do people think the quest is? Because we're all like
Very good.
retiree adventurers, right? And we're all
Yeah.
back to like do one final quest.
Right. The one last job that pulls us out of retirement.
Yep.
No, in our last adventure, did we kill the big bad evil guy? Or did we just seal him away to let it be someone else's problem?
That is something we can establish.
Maybe
now.
we thought we killed him, and then he or she has shown back up again. Like there are new
Maybe.
rumors
Sort
that
of like-
the
yeah.
thing that we killed has returned.
I'm down for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn liches.
I was gonna say that sounds very lichy.
I like that. Some kind of evil lich who's raising like an undead army.
Yeah,
That way you get
So-
lots of skeletons and zombies to fight, which are always cool.
yeah. What are we thinking? I kind of would like there to be a lady lich because I don't feel like ladies get enough turns at being the liches.
Oh, please.
But what should her name be? Should it be something ridiculous and fantasy like?
You could always use a fantasy name generator.
Hey, let's do
We
that.
always could.
Those are, I gotta tell you, there's some high quality ones that are out there.
There. Yeah.
And,
Let's
they
Yeah, let's
they
do
never
that.
disappoint. Marvin, you looking one up here, or
Alright.
there's one where it has like a bazillion categories, pretty much
Oh yeah.
fantasy name.
I found one that looks like a good name for a female lich.
Oh, nice.
It's
What do we got?
Relma Stars,
Balmus.
Oh,
which
love
is RELMAH. And then the last name is Stoz, STOZ.
Stars.
it.
Interesting.
Write it down. Velma Stars.
It starts with a V too. That always
Is
sounds
it
villainous.
Velma? Oh.
Relma,
Is it Relma?
with an R.
Apologies to any of our listeners or viewers who may have V's in their names. I'm sure you're not a villain.
But yeah, Relma Stars. That
Sure.
sounds lichy. We can establish who the heck we are later, I guess, or we can start throwing things out now. I mean, we all
have
we
the
all
question
played.
card right now.
We do have a question card. Who wants to answer first? Because I would rather it not be me.
Well, who read the last one?
I think Michael read the last
Yes.
Yeah, so,
So-
Marvin do this one if you want.
So it's my turn?
one. If you
Okay.
want.
Let's start us off. What has changed in your appearance since your last quest? Laddies, it's a shameful day when a dwarf has to shave his beard. Not by any of his volition, but because the beard was cursed. That lich, Valmistras, she did something to me. When we put her down back into the ground from which she came, she cursed my beard. There's not a single hair on me head now. I don't even have eyebrows, laddies. I gotta live with the fact that I will be a hairless dwarf. A hairless dwarf! Have you ever heard of that? Oh, the shame of it. I doubt I can ever show my face in public again. Maybe I could wear a wig or something, but even that, a dwarf with a wig? Unheard of.
I mean, several fake beards come in a disguise kit, So just get one of those, plaster it on your face. Look, I understand that that's a rogue solution to the problem, but I'm a rogue, so I come up with rogue solutions. I'm just saying, fake beard, problem solved. I mean, that's what I have to use if I want to have a beard. Not.
I can appreciate it, but any good respecting dwarf will recognize a fake beard from a real one. There's just no volume to it, no thickness of the hair.
Well, it may be the case, but you also have a story attached to it.
I guess so, but it just wouldn't be the same. Maybe there's a way to lift the curse.
Yeah, maybe if we actually managed to kill Relma this time. Looking at the paladin in the group on that one.
Wait, Alma's alive?
Seems so.
Ah,
I mean, them's the rumors, aren't they? I mean, they're just rumors, obviously.
if we go after her again, wonder what else she's gonna curse besides me hair. I don't know about this. If she's not, doing anything particularly evil, perhaps we could just wait on it, maybe.
Yeah, sure, Lady Stas is known for being not particularly evil.
Oh, yeah. The
You
whole
call this
selling your
not
soul.
particularly evil?
No, I was being sarcastic again.
Ah. Just get me axed, just in case. Okay, that's me.
What was the biggest defeat as a team? Who do you blame for this failure? Well, I mean, our biggest defeat as a team was honestly our lack of imagination, and of course I always blame the paladin for that, on account that paladins do lack imagination quite sufficiently. Also, they spend a lot of time telling me that I'm cowardly, but I'm like, look, I can't wear a bunch of armor like you now, can I? Because if I wear a bunch of armor like you, I'm not going to sneak around, and if I'm not sneaking around, I'm not doing my job properly, am I? I mean, you got to think about these things. Yeah, I don't tell you don't go around wearing your clanky nonsense and talking about your stupid god. Okay, I do say that, but in my defense, I'm better than him. Is he around? Did he die? I mean, I'm not saying I wanted him to die, but if he did die, I don't mind either. What was the question? Okay, that's.
All right.
Oh, sorry. What was the biggest defeat? I mean, well, obviously that, Lady Stas is still alive, isn't it?
I guess that could be the biggest one.
Right.
How do you manage to bright up your companion's evenings? Well, everyone enjoys a song, and I do have many of them, so might as well. And everyone seems to tolerate them, and annoy the paladin, but to no good every once in a while. But he got used to it. Seems to brighten everyone. So.
You can't be too upset about it. He's a stick in the mud, and he's tone deaf to boot.
He was a little. He tried once to sing along, but it did not sound all that great.
No, it didn't, but he was very confident in himself about it.
Oh,
And
he's
when I
always
blew-
confident in himself. Sorry.
No, it's okay. And when I blew him ye old raspberry, he didn't threaten to divine smite me.
That sounds like a paladin, alright. They insult or joke. They can't take a joke worth a damn.
Nope.
And then again, some of the jokes that I tell are at his expense, but he's such a good target.
Well, it's due to his defining lack of sense of humor.
It's true. Yeah, you always have to have a good humorist, and sometimes.
Well, you always brightened up my evening regardless.
Well, I'm glad of it. Always a good song, a good story. Always should brighten someone's, unless it's depending on the story. But I always tend to bring out the good stories whenever it's needed.
Oi, lad, can you tell me a story about when I used to have hair? That would definitely brighten up my day.
Well, Well, that was that one glorious battle that we had when there was I think it was near the middle of our thing. We were fighting a bunch of zombies, and that glorious beard of yours flying as you were hacking up them zombies. Wonderful times.
Yes.
And I remember the
Yes.
time that me rope was destroyed and I managed to climb down your beard instead.
That was painful, I remember that, but it did save the day, so
True.
it's a moot point.
Yeah.
That'll never happen again.
Well, I'm sure we've got plenty of rope now.
And Michael, it's your
All
turn.
right. So I think it's like Nick's a bard.
Story.
Yeah, he's clearly a rogue. Marvin's like a dwarf of some kind.
Next question comes up, I'll establish him.
Okay.
His class is
I mean,
also
you guys have been
dwarf.
Going on about the paladin, like. you're
But that
expecting-
doesn't mean
You
you,
don't
have
have to
to
have a
be
paladin.
the paladin.
Yeah, because this one doesn't. I mean, I don't mind being a paladin, but then again,
No.
this is really
If you want to, yeah.
We could just be shit talking a guy that's never going to show up for this mission.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we
I might-
could.
It's up to you. Yeah.
I think this one is speaking to this.
Okay.
Once, my life was saved because
Oh,
of
well, what's the
skeleton.
card say?
Oh, of course, I got to read the question. My bad.
That's okay.
One day, one of your companions saved your life. How? How? Well, in the heat of battle, I found myself cornered by the most ferocious of opponents, a single skeleton. He struck at me. Half my health gone. Another blow and I would surely be dead. Thankfully, my dwarven friend rushed in, slid in front of the sword, and it attacked, and it hit him instead. However, for some reason, when the sword struck him, he was still completely healthy. The rest of it had struck me again, I would be slain.
It's good old
If I
dwarven
was-
constitution.
My constitution is it's negative, and I am but a cannon made of glass.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you can turn gravity upside down, so you have your uses.
It's true.
Yes.
Many a spell cast that saved many alive.
Well, I prefer the elaborate, complicated spells to simple things like that.
True, but I've also seen you drop rather a lot of fireballs.
Well, there's something to be said for respecting
Seems-
the classics.
Yes. A staple of your kind.
Indeed.
I got no problems with your magic, lad, so long as you blast the fireball out toward the skeletons and not toward us. Singed me beard hairs once it did.
You
Oh,
can drop a fireball on me any old time you feel like it.
True, you are a
Yes,
nimble
you-
one.
You can take it.
It's more like she just dodges out of the way and just ridiculousness.
Right,
Problem
and
solved.
many might ask, how can you manage to avoid all the damage from a fireball like that when it's dropped directly on you? And I say that's a story for another time, but realistically, it's because I don't want to tell you.
Oh, very true. Yes,
Broken
just
your
like
secrets.
how you can ask me where I keep all my spell components, and I will not. Well, that's also a story for another time.
Well, isn't that rather stinky pouch you keep at your side?
The
Oh,
pouch
yes,
keeps
I
the back guano in.
Oh, I'm sure. Definitely it smells of it.
Yes, just that I never really seem to describe myself using it, so it's best not to think about these things. Oh wait, let me wave my magic focus and let's move us on.
Oh, it's another one that ends in how? How?
Uh, I have helped you through difficult times. How? How?
I guess the rest of us answer that, huh?
Guess so.
I mean, back when I was beardful. Is that even a word? Yes, that's how I can describe it. Full of beard. I wasn't even wearing a shirt back then. All I had was me glands tattoos spattered on me face. Me brilliant mohawk flowing through the wind along with me beard and me giant axe slaying the undead left and right. Oh, those were the times, laddie. And lasses. But it's gone now. But could you help me remember exactly what I did? How I can recapture that rage, that righteous rage that led us through many a battle?
Well, I mean, would I say that necessarily I was always happy with the righteous rages? Not necessarily when I was laying a complex trap and you'd just start running and shouting your own name. I mean, that wasn't always my favorite thing, but on the other hand, on the rare occasion that I actually did get cornered by something and had to, fight fair, well, I did appreciate you being around, certainly, because you would stand in front of them and I could, fuck off.
Makes sense. Always did want to challenge them to a fight.
I remember there was a time when I was pinned down by several zombies. They struck me at least twice, knocking me unconscious. You raced in, hauled me up, and tried to carry me to safety. You set me down. Somehow, I regained consciousness. Then the zombies struck me again, and I became unconscious. You shoved a health potion down my throat. I managed to become conscious once more, only for a zombie to strike me into unconsciousness again. I nearly died that time. But then, I regained consciousness. Then the battle was over and all the zombies were dead. I was so close to death, I could not believe it. Mortality was staring me in the face. I could barely breathe. After a good night's sleep, I was totally fine. So, you saved my life at least 7 times that day. And that was just that day. You saved my life like so many times. Like pretty much every battle, I get knocked out. It's really unfortunate. And you're always going to save me.
The paladin was supposed to be healing you during all that, by the way.
Oh, I know. Where was he?
Oh, we all know the paladin's an incompetent fool with his head up his ass.
Yeah, he was trying to do what the dwarf was doing, is what he was doing the whole time. It's like, go back and save the wizard. What's wrong with you?
There's only so many healing spells that I can cast.
Exactly. Right. And I can't just have like a nap and totally heal everything. So, but that paladin, very stubborn.
Oh, yes. Well,
but how have you been saved by our dwarven barbarian?
Well, as for myself, I mean, I've started a few fights myself and with my choices of words, and he's always been there to defend me in my times of idiocy and sometimes drunkenness. But then again, he's also been in the drunkenness himself, so...
It's part of my culture. You ever see a dwarf without a drink in his or her hand? It's practically our water.
I mean, realistically, besides the paladin, we all fought at least 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh, yeah.
I can't say I was ever sober, which, might have a little bit to do with the fact that we didn't defeat the Lich in reality now that because you remember the paladin kept saying that we had to destroy what were they called? Prophylactics or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, what are those things called? Oh,
someone make an arbitrary knowledge roll.
I looked this up at one point and asked a few of my bard friends. Oh, geez,
what
was
make
it?
The roll. There's no dice in this game.
But I remember saying, no, I mean, look, she's very dead. She's very clearly dead. We're done. Thanks a lot. Nice traveling with you. I believe the next thing I said was fuckity bye. And, it's not my fault that I couldn't remember the prophylactory or whatever it was that we were looking for.
Honestly,
that's right, it was phylactery. That's the word.
We didn't destroy the bloody phylactery? That's not good.
To be fair, it wasn't in the room, so...
In my defense, I was unconscious, so...
That is true.
It's true, yeah.
Honestly, I would have probably known what that thing was, but the paladin apparently was not around, and we were out of healing potions.
Yeah.
Most unfortunate.
I mean, what are you going to do? Well, I mean, he has, what was it called? He touches himself, doesn't he? And, and then he'd just heal himself, and it's like, you got to heal some other people once in a while. He's like, but I am brave and strong and, very full of myself, so... And then he called me coward again and said a good wench like me needed to be tamed. And I said that he can take his misogynistic notions and shove them sideways up his arse.
That's why we kicked him out, because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, really
Don't
just a
wanna
terrible
change
guy.
Well,
Do you
that
remember-
and he left in a huff after we thought what her name was. I'm blanking on her name. That's
Lady
it.
Stoss.
Lady Stoss. Yes, you'd think that I would remember this being a storyteller.
Yeah, but you're also usually drunk, so to be fair.
That's true.
You're good at improvising, like all the best storytellers are.
That is true, and embellishing to the nine.
But I think my question finished a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's a good one, though.
What important object for the quest have you lost?
Oh, this is a good one.
Well, I mean, lost is a strong term. Did I take the... I wouldn't say I lost the Holy Sword of Vanquishing. I would say more specifically, I sold it to a cult for a lot of money. You all would have done the same thing. No, you wouldn't have. But look,
Did you really pawn off the sword we need to kill the Lich?
yeah, I already honestly forgot its name.
I wrote it. I have this magical power of memory called a notebook when I write things down.
Oh, great.
So it's the Holy Sword of Vanquishing.
Right. So, yes. And you know what? That's on you all for putting the Holy Sword of Vanquishing in my safekeeping. No, you didn't do that. Nope.
Well,
my therapist
no,
was talking to
if
me
I
about
remember-
my honesty issues. You gave it to the paladin, and I stole
Yeah.
it from him.
In
Sounds
our
about right. Yeah.
in our defense, we put it into the bag of holding, and then we forgot who was carrying it. So
Right.
I've never
That's
been
right.
one.
Yeah.
the paladin,
Yeah.
Never been one to remember.
I mean, the
things.
paladin, I'll clarify, the paladin was carrying it.
right?
And then I maybe cut open the side of it in the middle of the night and stole everything out of it.
Oh,
And
Is
then
that why there's a giant hole in it and all the items spilled out of it?
And that's why all the items spill out of it, yeah. And then did I kind of run off with it and sell it to a cult that had a lot of skeleton-y motifs?
oh, very.
Maybe.
I think that was a bad idea at the time.
I mean, I thought it was a lot of money and I could buy a manor house with it, so you're welcome, me.
We already got a lot of money
Look.
for defeating the Lich.
But I needed more.
You
Look,
To be
needed
fair,
I'm
she
an
always saying she
orphan.
needs more.
Both of my parents were dead.
We're
How many
adventurers.
times have you
We
said
all
that
have
now?
tragic backstories. You don't get a pass.
Now you're right, I'm
Fair
just
point.
kind of a jerk.
Well, what are you trying to preserve at all costs within the team?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, besides the paladin, I feel like we just up and fucked off after the Lich was dead. I mean, or so we thought. With this, I'm just trying to keep us all together. I mean, I don't know. I thought we were companions. We were legends. I thought we would at least try and stick together. Maybe not stick together, but at least. It's just, how can you be a storyteller when none of your friends are around to corroborate with you? I mean, it's easier to tell a story if you're just some lone person spouting off words and that possibly no one believes.
I mean, you could have come out to my manor house at any time and talked to me about it, and I might or might not have told the guards to let you through. Did you ever come out to the manor house?
Mm,
The one you mysteriously inherited.
Yeah, the
be
one I
fair,
mysteriously inherited from my dead parents.
to be fair, I didn't think it was actually you in that manor house.
Yeah, it was. That was a pretty good time. Honestly, still kind of is.
But, maybe I'll visit sometime.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you ignore the cultists doing vile rituals in the basement, it is a fantastic place to hang out.
See, that's
Oh,
another
what?
reason why I didn't think it was you. You had rumors of cultists? That didn't really think
I
it
mean,
was.
they seemed like really nice guys after I sold them the Holy Sword of Vanquishing.
Of course,
of
that
course.
definitely made them happy. They wouldn't
Oh, yeah.
have said anything.
Right.
I mean, sell them the one weapon that destroys their leader, the Lichless? Lichess? I don't know.
They just lich. I think it's just
Yeah, just Lich. When you're undead, doesn't really matter at that point.
right.
Comes with another word that I like to call her.
It does it that. Rich.
Well, there's another one besides that as well.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Move on here.
Michael.
Whoa. What ideal did you betray for the team? How did the team react to your sacrifice? Let's see. Well, you know how we adventurers care about one thing above all: getting cool loot.
Yeah, obviously.
And once we were exploring a dungeon that was for some reason full of monsters they'd moved in. I'm not sure why they would be in something that is ultimately just a prison, but they were there. And I wandered off by myself. I got lost and found a vast treasure. And I was very sure to make sure it wasn't, going to come alive and eat me, but I was sure it wasn't. I looked inside and found all kinds of cool weapons, as if they would do an extra 1 or 2 damage, and they normally did. And there was one for each of you, as if some cosmic force would be like, well, if a party made up of this certain amount of adventurers, here's a weapon that each of them could use.
I felt like when I used that longbow, I was 2 better.
Yes, exactly.
And nothing will replace me ancestral axe. My grandfather's grandfather and his grandfather.
This
before
axe,
them.
the one that I found in this treasure chest, could do an extra 1 or 2 points of damage, I think.
A whole extra point of damage, you say?
True. Well, you can't have it now because I sold it. I sold them all, and I invested the money, yes, in building important structures in the community, like an orphanage, like a monster rehabilitation center, to teach monsters how to help out in the town. And I was really just invested in this particular town and village, and we left it and just moved on to the next one, continuing our murderous quests. So, yes, that ideal I betrayed.
So what I'm hearing, Wizard, is that you didn't give me an item that made me 2 better, but I still believed I was 2 better the entire time.
Oh.
I wonder if there was a secret unknown force monitoring me the whole time that was subtracting 2 back off of the rolls that I thought I was making.
Could be. Well, I think the team didn't really know about my sacrifice, but I guess you do now, so how do you...
How is that a sacrifice when you blatantly stole weapons that were meant for the rest of the team, get them for yourself, sold them off, and didn't tell us until right now?
Well, I think it was a sacrifice because he gave it to orphans, except for the fact that I, as mentioned in my tragic backstory, which I'm pretty sure you've all read. I know it was 17 pages long, but I hope you all read it. I did not proofread it before I
Quite the
handed it
tragic
off
tale.
to you.
I may have made a few corrections in my own books. Yeah, I can give you the notes if you wish.
Yeah, but I don't want. Yeah, I don't react well to criticism ever. But
Good to know.
sure. The main point is, if you wanted to give money to orphans, you could have given it to me. You don't stop being an orphan just because you're an adult. That
You would
stays with
never
you.
have seen that money again, was it? You would never have seen that money again.
Obviously, if you give me money, you're never going to see that money again. I'm going to do things with it.
If it's any...
All for the good of the team.
Like buying a mansion with the sword that we're supposed to use to kill the Lich?
Yeah, and letting cultists stay in the basement until I got annoyed with them, and I told them they should probably go somewhere else from now on, and then they did. Which
Some of
actually,
them
now that I
too.
think about it, is kind of worse because that means I really don't know where the Holy Sword of Vanquishing is. And if they were still in my basement, we would have a pretty good lead on the Holy Sword of Vanquishing.
Yes. True.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a quest opportunity.
Yeah, it does. And one that doesn't involve going into my house.
A hook, if you will.
Huh.
But we'll just see what happens.
Follow the rumors. Follow the stories. Follow the rumors.
Yeah.
Who was always there to listen to your fears and doubts? What are you offering them in exchange? So who was always there to listen to me lament the loss of me hair? The dwarven honor. Is it the rogue? I don't think she cares all that much. Is it the wizard? I never talked to the wizard. It's probably the bard. He always loves a good story.
Of course.
In exchange for the lamentations of the hairless dwarf barbarian, I give him a pint of the finest dwarven ale, because I know he's going to need it when he listens to me story about that magnificence of my ancestors' beards. You know, in our burial practices, we take the beards from all of our dwarven brethren, and our sisters as well, because dwarven women do grow beards. And we place them on their tombs in honor of them. Their magnificent locks just flowing in the wind as a reminder to their greatness. I'm never going to have me beard on a tomb now. I'm never going to have me beard and to honor myself as a remembrance.
I personally plan to be buried in the traditional way of my people, which is I will be thrown into the forest and wolves will eat me.
Right then.
Rather grim thought.
Yeah,
And,
gotta feed the wolves somehow.
Beardless dwarf friend, I'm reaching into the vastness of my wizardly intellect to offer you these words of consolation. There.
Yeah, that's why he goes to me and not him.
Oh, lad, I was muted for a second there, out of just sheer rage. There. That's all you have to say to me? Really? Oh, I'm getting raged right now, laddies. Rage, you hear?
In the
Rage!
wizard's defense, he was born with two of what my culture calls dump stats. Which were
Yeah.
actually 3, weren't they? You don't have any strength either.
It's true.
Why
he's
would I
rather
need
weak.
strength?
Yeah, about the only thing that good that he has is his intellect, and he doesn't really use that all that well.
He's a relatively dexterous fella.
Relatively speaking.
Relatively speaking, dexterous.
Yeah.
I mean, comparatively.
Yes, for a caster, he's fairly dexterous. Yeah.
I was thinking of becoming a rogue a little bit, but then I decided against it. But who knows? I might do that someday.
Anytime you want to learn how to be better at disengaging or dashing or hiding would be great for you, by the way.
That's true. Could be a good
Really,
one.
you should work on it.
Interesting.
Certainly save you being knocked out every time we get into a fight.
Who questions your righteousness?
Oh,
When
man.
did it start?
Perfect.
Well, number one, obviously the paladin did. I think he's the one that started questioning my righteousness, being what my profession is. And I thought, that's relatively unfair to point out my greatest asset that way. Look, you can't do what I do without a certain degree of moral flexibility. I mean, my job, and when people hire me, they know this is my job, is stealing things. Like, what do you... There are 2 things I do. I steal things, and I shoot people from a distance. And if that's not what you want, brought to the table, then why did you hire me in the first place? It's not like we're just 5 people that randomly gathered together around a table without discussing anything first. I mean, I have some valuable skills, provided, that you don't have one of those mechanical gizmo people around. Nobody else. I have heard of many a party that lacks a rogue who is defeated by a lock. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You simply just smash the door down.
You
That's
can't
what I
always
do.
just smash doors down.
Yeah, sometimes
There's
there's
just-
traps.
Yeah, and sometimes that makes rather a lot of noise.
That's true.
Say bring them on. It's not like they can beat us anyway. Of course, the wizard will go down again, but he always does.
Yeah, well. Me question my righteousness.
Well, you suspected that this quest has no other purpose than to reconcile the team members.
Whoa.
Who do you think would have organized this? Now that I think about it, it is kind of odd that while we have heard these rumors have been coming up lately, maybe as could the paladin actually have been trying to help?
I swear.
Paladin?
I swear to goodness, if this is another one of his stupid trust exercises, I'm going to be very cross about it. And I'm extra not going to invite him to future parties.
At one time, you told the rest of you, let's see how far you can toss the dwarf. It's a good team-building exercise. You never toss the dwarf.
Only if there's consent.
Do you remember the time he did trust falls and he wanted me to catch him? He weighs like 3 times the amount that I do. Even if I caught him, I'd be crushed to death.
With all that plate armor.
I mean,
Yeah, that was kind of a bad decision on his part to have the trust fall in his full regalia.
Yeah, I mean, and then he was like, "You didn't catch me." I was like, "Well, yeah, I know, because you would have crushed me."
I just turned intangible and he fell right through me, but it was purely out of instinct. A reaction, if you will.
It's a
Yeah,
fair point. I feel like if he'd fell on you, you'd probably get knocked out.
Oh yeah, that does happen a lot.
Yeah, it's true. I think you're turning into. Nobody was ever upset about you doing the misty thingy or the turning intangible thingy, or you know what I always enjoyed is in a battle whenever somebody was very, very nearly dead, you would turn them into a giant monster.
That made for some very interesting stories.
Mm-hmm.
Time you turned me into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was a
Yeah.
fine day, laddie.
It was quite the carnage.
Love doing things like that.
But yeah, so you think the paladin got us all together just to get
He's
us all
always
together?
weird that way. I mean, he may have left in a huff, but he always seemed to have like this strange undertone of like building trust and making sure that everyone is okay in his own weird way.
And always lawfully following good laws.
Right.
Yeah.
Or goodly following lawful laws.
I mean, he talked a lot about alignment. He's like, I don't travel with evil people. And I was like, are you calling me evil? He says, well, you're very selfish. I'm like, well, it's not the same thing as evil. He's like, by my definition, it is. And I was like, well, then your definition can,
Oh yes, quite a few are. You like to argue about those kinds of things. So
That is true. I mean, my argument is that as humans and dwarves and creatures of this world, we are innately selfish, so you can't really take that away.
Right. I mean, my argument has always been that it's the greatest evil to follow an unjust law, and I don't necessarily know that much about law, so I just don't follow any of them.
I forgot to fill that part out. So on the so I'm not sure what I am. But I think I agree with all of you.
I never really cared much about alignment or the word of human laws, but I do want to do good in this world. Don't want to just be a raging asshole everywhere. I mean, spending the rest of your life drunk, angry, and guideless is it's not a way to live life.
I mean, though, I gotta say that the Raging Arsehole is probably my favorite bar in all the land.
That
Is that the tavern where we all met?
Yeah,
I think
yeah, it was a
that's
little
true.
bit inappropriate considering, but yeah.
Was an interesting.
You're feeling very tired. Who notices it? How does he react?
Or she.
Or she, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I replace all these with they.
Yeah, the questions have been very he-oriented.
Yeah. It's that weird, like, We're just gonna say he because we don't really want to do anything about gender.
Oh.
I think these are getting translated from French.
Oh,
Could be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, the question.
Okay. I think all of you noticed that I haven't had a nap in quite a while, and the great powerful spells that I can do that could help us on this quest, I sort of used all of them. I was summoning a lot of weird creatures, finding familiars, and I was like, I don't like that one. Find another one. And now all I can do is like a mage hand, and can make some cool lights appear, and I can make it stinky. But that's about it. I can shoot a little blast, does some damage, pretty handy.
You used up your magic.
Yes.
Did I notice that?
I
Am I
think
the one?
everybody did, because I had like,
Yeah.
I was like, look at my cool new familiar, and then a little while later I was like, oh, another one, also cool. It's a raven this time. No.
You overexerted yourself, laddie. It's not
Look,
too
I
good.
made an octopus. Pretty cool, huh?
Look, as an orphan, the only animals I'm allowed to like are ravens, wolves, and bats.
Oh, those were the last three. But then I figured out, like, hey, I got this fun imp now.
Wait, wizard, this whole time, have you also been an orphan with a horrible, tragic backstory?
Oh, I also didn't. Yes, that's right. I also had a tragic backstory. A bunch of lamps killed my family of desks. That's what happened.
You're a desk.
Yes, I was raised by desks.
Something against people of the Golden
lamp
Desert.
killed me. Look, let's move on. I'll think about it later.
Is that another part of your sheet that you maybe didn't fill out, though?
Look, I found the numbers. Yes, but yeah. We'll talk about my backstory later. Let's focus on the quest, you know?
Yeah, but if you do need to sleep, laddie, yeah. Find a dwarven logger in the land. I'll put you to sleep in 30 seconds. It will.
I would
That
like
will kill you.
to take like
I don't
quite
know
a
what
few hours.
is going to come next.
Well, it's going to
Depends on
take
the
quite a few
constitution.
hours, and I might miss the whole quest, so hopefully there'll be...
That's fine. We can take a rest. Maybe I can play us a tune and.
I've always found that whenever you play a tune, I feel like 1 to 10 better when I take a rest.
Like
Yeah, it's a fun
inspired
little-
or something.
I like to weave a little bit of healing into my music sometimes when we rest.
Okay, I think the next question is from Arvin.
Okay.
Whoa.
But you can
Oh.
hand it off if you want. We might have just all betrayed the team at this point, though.
Yeah, it might not have been intentional. It's just something stupid we did in our past.
Yeah, so what does it say, though?
You betrayed the team in the past. How do you keep this a secret? You know, all of my despair and losing my beard hairs, I've never been that much to keep a secret, so I'll just tell it. It's not a curse. I'm just going bald.
Oh, no.
Mhm.
All those times where I just didn't seem like I was myself, where the rage just wasn't there. I could have struck harder, killed that undead abomination there, so it didn't knock out the wizard again. Actually, hey, remember where the phylactery is? No. It wasn't a curse, it was just my despair of going bald. The thing is, I'm not that old of a dwarf either. I'm like the equivalent of a human in their early 30s. I never thought I would go bald this instant. So I made up the whole thing. My hair's gone. I had bald patches in me head. So I just shaved it all off. Me eyebrows too. Call it a curse. I know. It's shameful, laddies. It's shameful. But I just couldn't live with it, you know. But I'm gonna do better. I'm going to let the rage of my shame and for keeping the secret drive me to kill that lich. That's what's going to fuge me rage now. So no more secrets. How do I keep the secret? By not keeping it a secret. It's out. I'm going bold.
Well, you
I'm
kept the
not
secret.
ashamed anymore.
I mean, I don't know if that's how secrets work, but okay.
I mean, you kept the secret in the past by saying it was a curse, so.
Yeah.
But now that we know, it's not really a secret anymore. So, but maybe I can weave you a new story to tell other people.
The Ballad of the Beardless Dwarf.
Yeah,
You have any spells that could make a dwarf's hair grow back by any chance?
go back. Maybe not, but I can make it look like you have hair.
At least the eyebrows.
Once again, disguise kit.
That's true.
I think I'll be using that.
I could give you a familiar that looks like a beard, and he could hang around on you. There's some pretty cool things that could be familiars, you know. I would like
It's
a
with you in familiars. You know that's a very expensive
cool. I
spell,
just want to
right?
have pets, you know. What's so bad about that?
Yes, but doesn't it cost you a bunch of money to cast that every single time?
Yes, I spend quite a lot on familiars, and also other weird animals and pets that I buy, and then I sort of forget about that I have them all.
That's where the money from our magic weapons went, isn't it?
Yes.
So when you said orphans, you really meant orphan animals.
Yes, I'm sort of yes. I've got them all in a kind of a zoo. But you know, I figured they'll come in handy someday.
Right. And by a zoo, you mean your flat.
Yeah, they all sort of live there.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. And I'm all the familiars that I'm just, make summoning and just kind of letting go. Because, I mean, imps, they're actually a little bit lame when you think about them. But, I could have a little, let's see. I could have, a fun possum that's, different colors and has, a sassy attitude. Sounds pretty cool, huh?
A sassy possum is also quite a good tavern.
Yeah, I love that tavern.
Yeah.
Gotta go find that familiar.
So, who in the group questioned your courage? How did you react? Once again, the paladin. Once again, poorly.
Paladin.
Next question.
Oh wow,
You're-
literally next question.
Oh no, this might be good for our
I feel like
Well,
this is
let
much
Nick
better
read it.
for.
But
Oh,
So
yeah.
the question is, your anger erupts and you hurt one of your companions. Who? Why?
dude, for those of you watching, it really does ask those questions twice each time.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Well, you have the French translation.
I feel this question is better answered by our dwarven friend.
Right. So, the anger erupts, and I hurt one of my companions. Who? Why? Why? Well, as always, it comes up to the issue of me hair. Someone just has to open their mouth and make a little smart remark. The Ballad of the Beardless Dwarf. The Hairless Dwarf, I think he said. Isn't it?
I know that question's not directed at me. I ain't never written a ballad. Am I doing
It was all in good fun. I mean, it was just I didn't mean anything by it. It was
Hairless Dwarf, laddie. I
That's
can
what you
grow
are.
my hair back at any time I want, you know that, right?
well
I'm
now
not
I do.
hairless. A dwarf without hair? You honestly think that's something to live with? Do you?
I mean, you seem to be doing it now. You seem to be doing it right now. I mean, you say you can grow it back, but yet you don't.
you got the barbarian all worked up again. Well, I mean, okay, kind of got himself worked up, but let's blame it on you so maybe it calms down. Look, you know what? Over there, it's a wyvern. Go punch it.
But non-lethally punch it because I want to adopt it.
I make no promises.
Please hit it with the axe non-lethally.
Okay, I think by the time he's done killing that wyvern, he'll have this all worked out of his system.
Come here, you scaly bastard! Come here!
Maybe you could find some wyvern eggs that I could keep to raise my own.
Where's
I
it, wyvern?
smash your sticking eggs too. Take this.
No.
Yeah, I think you smashed that good. Well, while he's busy distracting it, I'm gonna go see if it's got any, horde or any. I'm gonna, just gonna go take care of that.
We're eating good tonight, laddies.
It's true. Wyvern meat is you good.
I'm good.
Alrighty then.
I needed that. Just needed to get the old blood pumping.
Another stanza for the.
Not angry at you
Tail.
anymore,
Don't
lad.
bring that up right now.
Bring what up?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing at all.
Oh, does anyone know how to cook wyvern?
I think that might have been the paladin as well.
Damn it!
No, I took the chef feet for a larf. I'll cook it up for you.
Ah,
Thank the heavens you did.
Well, look, the only thing I really needed was dexterity, so I'm good.
All right, who's looking at you funny? Since when? Since when? More of these double questions.
That's still found out you're an animal hoarder.
I think someone looking at me funny would be. Let's see. I'm gonna say it's all of you because I've been for some reason, changing my species from different kinds of elf to other creatures. I can't decide on what kind of species I want to be.
Did you a magic desk just not a little while ago?
Well, those are my parents, but anyway, I'm a high elf now, so address me as such.
Aren't you literally always a high elf, though?
I was a wood elf.
Right.
But I'm a high elf.
Because your parents were desks. I get it, yeah.
No, I just meant due to his blatant abuse of marijuana.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I'm actually not a high elf anymore. I am instead a drow. Watch out, I might be evil. You don't know.
Right.
Don't
By the
try.
way, your cat companion is making a lot of noise over there.
Oh, yes. Big Drizzt fan here. Are there other kinds of I don't know. Are there other kinds of elves that I could be? I'm one of those magical.
The tale of a
There's
group
sea
of
elves, moon elves,
Ooh.
Dusk elves,
Eladrin,
Eladrin,
Dawn
yeah.
elves.
Those are
the Shadowkite.
Shatterkai, yeah.
Those sound pretty
Those
cool.
elves from the Shadow Realm. Quite the tales from those.
Well, I'm some kind of elf.
And then there's the little ones that make the cookies.
Yeah,
Ooh, that sounds delightful too.
your favorite elves.
So anyway, if me turning into one of those elves might end up making me an ally of Velma Stars, it could happen. But hopefully, I'll pick the kind of elf that is cool but also good. But not too good, like badass. That's the kind of elf I want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So, whose question is this?
I believe
it's
it
yours.
is yours.
Oh, it's mine?
Yeah,
Yes.
unless you want to pass it.
Yeah. Okay. On what occasion did you make one of your companions uncomfortable? What did you do to try to fix your mistake? Well, lads, as my recent battle with the Wyvern showed, I'm not a very cleanly individual, am I? I mean, I'm always covered in blood of something. Not all of it is mine. And honestly, I can't remember the last time I did take a bath. The
Oh.
smell's not getting to any of you, is it?
Well, I mean, if it really did, I think
No.
old wizard boy can you still prestidigitate? Is that a thing you can still do?
I can. I don't even take a nap to do that. Would you like me to? I will do. What does that do again?
Useful.
Just cleans all the grime and dirt off of me.
What
What is-
kind of a weird spell does that? Oh, never mind. All right, I'll do it on ya. You're all cleaned up.
Now, hold on.
Oh,
Hold on just a minute, lad.
I'll
We're
pause.
about to clean a dwarf. We honestly take pride in our natural musk.
What?
Musk is what you
dirt.
call it. That's what you call it. Oh,
Right.
Yes.
Which is once again why you have a lot of difficulty sneaking up on things, despite the fact that you don't wear any armor.
Yeah, all I need is a pair of pants and me axe in hand. That's all the armor I need.
Yeah, no, I understand. So you should really be a lot better at sneaking than you are.
Eh,
I mean, you're a dexterous
Sneaking.
feller.
I wouldn't say I'm all that dexterous. Kind of. It's more like I only have like +1 to do dexterous things, you know?
Now that explains why things have such an easy time hitting me then.
Well, that can't be all you need.
But hold on, this is a big decision to wash a dwarf. If you're going to do this, my wizard friend, don't tell anyone else.
I mean, I won't, but the secret might be out amongst our party here. Is that okay?
That goes to the both of you as well. Don't tell anyone else.
Well,
Especially
I think
not another
that
dwarf.
the bard and I can be quite good at keeping that secret until we're drunk. Wait, we're already drunk. But whatever. Yeah.
Prestidigitize me.
One prestidigitization coming up.
We need to learn how
Who
to
came up with
pronounce that word.
Who came up with that word,
Did you
anyways?
just whip a cat at him? Ow!
It's dissertation. You throw a bucket of water at him.
Yeah, the ultimate spell.
That'd be funny. So do you just throw a bucket of water at him?
Yep. Prestidigitate. Now you are clean.
Sure, I know that magic. How did you get such one of your companions? Why did he forgive you? I mean, it's odd how often he forgave me for stealing from him when he was sleeping. And now I think about it, maybe the paladin shouldn't have forgiven me that many times for doing it, on account of the stealing of the holy sword and the vanquishing, which I probably shouldn't have stolen or sold to cultists. Maybe I'm a bad person. Oh, but why did he forgive me? Because he's a putz.
Yeah, he's got that weird like righteous like forgive those who forgive you or like treat it.
Right. He said, I hate the sinner, not the sin. And I was like, well, don't hate my sins either. I'm pretty proud of them.
Yeah, there was.
I'm an orphan.
Yeah, there's another phrase that it was like treat those the way you want to be treated, that kind of a thing. I think that was one of his weird mantras.
Yeah, he said that a lot too. Which I mean, I exploited a lot. He's like, is that how you'd want me to treat you? And I said, I'd like to see you try. Mr. Clumsy Pants.
He didn't really practice what he preached, though, did he? I mean, if he wanted people to treat him the way he wanted to be treated, why was he such an ass?
Self-righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he is trying to bring us together.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, Nick.
What am I going to bring back from this quest as a souvenir? Who thinks this idea is ridiculous? Well, I have thought about bringing maybe, like, just keeping the phylactery for myself, bringing it along, maybe using it in my stories. You know, props. Props are always good. Just be like, and this right here is the exact phylactery of this of the Lady Lich.
I mean, I'm not trying to call your idea ridiculous or anything, but I mean, won't the Lich just kind of come back again if we don't destroy the oh my god, Phantom Cat. If we don't destroy if we don't destroy it this time, I mean.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here's the Lich's phylactery. Oh, there's the Lich.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying, it's been 10 years since the last time, and I am human, so sooner or later, like, I'm not going to be able to keep. I mean, look, I'm middle-aged now. I'm going to blow out my knees sooner or later, creeping around. That's why I stole so much money to get my, manor house.
Fair point.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. Maybe I should just bring back her head. Just keep
bring back her head.
ball.
That's reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull that out of the bag. Now you're thinking with your smarts.
The Lich
use it as sort of like in my sonnets. Do a little alas poor Yorick. I knew her well. Oh wait, no, her name is not Yorick, so I can't really use
Relma.
Relma. Yes.
It fits the meter.
Yes. My last word. That's a good one. I should write that down. As it starts scribbling.
I think it's going to be great. I think you should put it in the most fuck off long play ever.
Oh yeah.
Like pretty near the end.
I've been working on this play for about a good few years.
Yeah, I'd say put that very near the end, but also have like a bit in the middle where somebody does a soliloquy about offing himself, and just so people can always be confused about. Then just mush those two speeches together forever.
For being a rogue type, and you're pretty good at writing plays and being a bard.
Thank you. I think that's on account of me being an orphan.
So, you do have a lot of what's the word? Material.
Mm-hmm. It's true. But part of my backstory is also that I was a master assassin, like long before we met up when I was like 13. I was the best assassin in the land already by then. It was amazing.
I think I may have heard about you, or maybe that was another rogue assassin.
Yeah.
I also have a cool and detailed backstory. I'll
I'm
just
just a
leave that
barbarian.
someday.
I'm here to hit stuff. My backstory's about a paragraph long.
That's just what you need.
I mean, technically speaking, my backstory is a paragraph long.
Just there's no indentation.
It's just 17.
Those
Architect.
sentences.
It's just 17 pages of
It's a
just,
whole brick of words.
just brick of words, all caps.
Makes it easier to read.
Makes it way easier to read.
All right. What did you bring with you for old time's sake? Why is this important? Well, what I brought with me. Actually, you guys are going to hate this, but do you remember when our very first mission, we were a bunch of tough heroes, wanderers, master wizards?
Relatively speaking.
We met in that tavern. And someone hired us for a dangerous mission. Kill some rats.
Right.
The giant
Right.
rat.
Well, I saved one of the rats, and I'm bringing it along as a pet.
Of course he saved one of the rats. You know those
Those
things
rats are
are infected with
fucking
plague,
cool.
right?
What's that?
You know they're infected with plague. That's why we had to kill them, right?
Oh, look. They're infected with cuteness. I had rats when I was growing up. That's part of my backstory. So I think killing them is wrong. Like, let's have them, be fun venturing companions.
As long as you keep them away from
I'm
me.
bringing this rat with us on the quest.
Keep it away from me, and it'll.
Are you sure you don't want to
well,
pet
if
it?
If the rat's important to you, then it's important to me as well.
Yeah, sure.
I believe in you. Take a long rest.
No, I don't want to.
You're gonna be out of magic, lad. How many
I think I'm
slots do you
content
still
with
have?
my. Hey, I still have one more. Find familiar. I'll find a fun familiar rat to be friends with my original rat. Gotta save my spell slots for that.
You don't. I thought that was the one that you could just take a little extra time and you don't need to spend any of your spell slots on it. So do
Yeah.
something like, what about those missiles that just come out of you and hit things? That's a great one. Use that one.
I don't know. I think I'd rather get some more fun familiars. And I don't want to wait. I want them now.
Why didn't we recruit a warlock or something?
But it still literally takes you an hour.
An hour? Who's time for that?
You do. That's how long.
You
it
do
takes to
apparently.
pass.
How many? Yes.
Ah,
You don't realize that you're taking an hour to summon these things every single time.
take an
You could
extra
use those
7
hours-
minutes.
You could use those hours to sleep.
Yeah, please sleep. You're
I'm not
just
even
hurting the
tired.
rest of us.
You guys are all bloodshot, laddie.
I've
Well,
taken,
maybe I'll
I've
take
taken
like a quick.
5 or 6 naps since we got back together.
I was gonna do a quick half-hour nap, but I don't think that will do it. It's gonna be a full 6 hours sleep. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
Whose is
Me
this?
and my fun rat will join.
That will be mine.
Marvin's.
if Michael just went.
All right.
One of the band members never trusted you. Who How do they remind you of that on a daily basis? Well, it comes back to that damnable paladin. See, not only did he have ounces of sexism, but also racism as well. He never really trusted dwarves. He told me to me face.
It's
Never
true. The time that he suggested that we toss you all, so
Never toss a dwarf. Do any of you realize how insulting that is?
yeah.
On those trust falls where you had to pull me by me beard just to keep me from falling, he knew what he was doing.
I mean,
Always insulting the length of my arm.
I did think it was weird, the number of times that he would, really kind of go into that about the dwarves or, elves are all high and snotty. But, every time I called him Lizard Boy, he'd be like, I'm technically warm-blooded.
Technically warm-blooded. But whenever there was a chill at night, he was the first to grab the blankets off of all of our asses.
All the blankets.
Is that what he was trying to do with my arse? Okay. Probably shouldn't have stabbed him that one time then.
I'd be surprised if he felt it, skelly bastard that he is.
Da-da-da-dum.
So he's a lizard folk paladin. Okay.
I was thinking
Well,
dragon one, but okay.
I was implying.
I like
dragon
lizard
lizard.
folk too, though.
But yeah, it could be lizard folk. I don't know.
Maybe I should be a lizard folk.
There he goes again.
All right, you guys, I'm now a lizard. Watch out.
Tomorrow he's going to be a furbolg.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
then, the day after that, a young tea.
Oh.
And it gets even better.
Let's
gonna
not
be a
talk about
gelatinous
you on tea.
Let's not give
Those
him
don't-
ideas.
Those you on tea don't even exist. That's a rumor. That's a myth. There's no such thing. So, what other team have I been on recently? Why is that frowned upon? Well, much like myself, it was a team full of you on tea, of course. But why is it frowned upon? Because that people think that we're all evil. And I don't think that's fair. Just because we're trying to resurrect snake gods to devour all known universe and humanity. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, people love endings. Living in the middle of things is dull. You want to be at the end or the beginning. And didn't have any possibility of being at the beginning, right? So be at the end. That's the Yuan-Ti philosophy. And by that I mean, I'm not a Yuan-Ti. There's no such thing as Yuan-Ti moving forward.
I will say, being destroyed by a snake god would be a very epic way to end things. Could be quite the tale.
We hit a card that's not translated.
Uh-oh. I guess we can axe that.
Yeah, what is something that's indispensable to the quest, maybe?
I think so.
Let's
see. Let's
to the quest and indispensable, I think.
Let's translate.
Yeah,
I took French for a good number of years, but I don't remember it that well.
I mean, I don't know. Google Translate might not be the best here.
Now this one actually does. What did you take with you that is essential to our quest?
That is to me.
That is to you. So what did you bring that's
Okay.
essential to the quest?
What did I bring that is essential to the quest? Well, if I remember correctly, I did bring some holy water. I think I may have grabbed some anti-zombie spells and some scrolls. And then there's this weird blade that I can't quite figure out. It seems important.
Wait.
Weird blade, you say?
It wouldn't be the holy sword of
Yeah, it's right here.
you found the sword.
It looks a little different than what I remember. Then again, I have been drunk for quite some time.
Look, wizard, can you identify it? Is it the sword we need?
I can. After a nap.
So never then. Okay.
Great. Why would you be useful?
That's a little rude, I have
I
this,
mean,
I this rat that goes with us. I can.
Isn't identifying another one of those like weird like ritual things that you can take the time to do?
Was that right? Well, I didn't really read about that, so let's move on.
Just gonna have to go on a hope and a prayer.
Wizard.
You sold your pearl and owl fell there to buy an extra pet, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
But on the plus side, it's a riding dog. That's so cool. I mean, I'm too big to ride on being a lizard man.
Yeah,
but...
all of us are too big to ride it, buddy.
Oh. I thought it'd be...
Dwarf.
Well, maybe I'll be a gnome or something and ride on it.
Right.
Or maybe a gnome will join us. That'd be
Right.
so cool, a little gnome on a dog.
Yeah, that's what you want to spend your money on.
Yeah.
I guess the next question is for you, and you read it.
Who do you think is essential to the team? Ooh. That would be Snickers, my pet rat.
Oh gosh.
He's fun. He's furry. He's got a bad attitude. He gnaws on
Oh, he's
things.
giving them stories now. Oh.
Mm-hmm. I actually wrote a pretty long backstory for him. Would you like to hear it?
No.
Is it
Nobody wants
17
to hear
pages
that.
long?
Well, it goes back a few generations. You
Oh,
see,
Lord.
the Snickers line first started in the sewers.
I will cut your
Alright.
throat myself. I will do
All
it.
right, well, maybe for another time.
Just
But no.
leave the
no.
storytelling to the bards.
But he's
Okay,
right,
well,
you know.
Anyway, Snickers, team mascot, perhaps? What do you guys think?
Yes, he is
Yeah,
right.
sure.
That rat is essential. I mean, if we run out of food, what else are we going to turn to?
Oh, what?
Fair point.
Ugh,
Well then,
I shouldn't have
this is
brought
bad
that up.
news. We fell into a trap. Who are you accusing of this situation? Why didn't he listen to you when you warned him? And it's Snickers. That
No.
rat had pulled a line. He tripped a wire, and now we're in a pit. It's America. We didn't get pierced by any of the spikes, which have been set on the sides for some reason. I don't know why. But no, that rat has been nothing but trouble since the day you got him, which was yesterday.
I mean, I do want to note that setting the rat ahead to check for traps really kind of interferes with my whole thing. But you did, beat me in initiative somehow. So
Somehow.
somehow,
Really high.
yeah. So next
Well-
time, maybe let me find the traps because that's kind of my job.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. But I mean, it's just cool to see that rat go, isn't it?
I mean, you could always detect magic and see if there's any magical tripwire around.
I
Someone
could,
could
but I don't want to waste a
investigate.
spell slot.
But once again, these are all just things that I can do. I'm just saying.
That's a fair point.
Well, until we get out of here, what's their ration situation?
Well, I got a rat.
Yes.
No, we're not doing that. Let's not eat my pet, please.
You see any other source of meat around here?
I can always find a familiar. Also, we can't eat those. Don't eat my familiars.
Well,
Well, I
also
guess
they're
yeah.
fey, and they kind of dissipate, if I remember correctly.
Ugh,
That right. Good. So we can't eat them anyway, and we're not eating my rat.
today.
So what secret do you try to keep from the team? And who else knows about this? I mean, the secret is that I'm a Yuanti. Who else knows about it? The Paladin. Kind of figured that one out, bastard.
Whoa.
Yeah, but he never told anybody. So good on him.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of found out about it on the fact that, one of the many times I was pretending to be drunk, being on the account that I'm actually immune to poison, and maybe I get the rest of you drunk all the time, just to, kind of keep you under my sway a little bit. No big deal. And it's not like I'm saying this to any of you. This is just kind of going on in my head. And he's also immune to poison. So, yeah, he kind of figured that out. One time when you all were very, very, very intensely drunk, he just confronted me about it. He's like, I've seen you. You're drinking a lot of alcohol and you're not actually drunk. So what's happening? And, I came clean because he cast a spell on me But it's fine. It's fine. And he certainly is still alive. And this is totally a trust exercise put together by him. Next question.
Who do you no longer trust? Why and since when?
Whoa.
Just now, a couple of seconds ago.
I didn't say any of that
You didn't
aloud.
say it, yeah.
I mean, if you
Wrote
ever
down in my
trusted me,
notes,
then that's
but I gotta-
really sad, honestly.
Mhm. I mean, I don't know if actually.
Do you trust any of us, realistically speaking?
You can trust me.
I haven't done
Trust
anything
seeker.
wrong since I got here.
Literally, nobody should trust your judgment, wizard.
Okay.
Well, the rogue is accidentally lost the phylactery, and then, oh no, I accidentally, well, on purpose,
Very purposely sold the
sword.
sword. Very purposely.
So that seems a little suspicious there. It's almost like she's purposely trying to sabotage this entire mission.
And I didn't lose the phylactery. I simply argued that we shouldn't bother to look for it because it was pointless.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that part was sort of our own doing for listening to you. Now that I think about it.
Sometimes I don't make the best decisions, but I haven't squandered all of my magic on summoning animals either.
A fair point, but
Very
That hasn't
easy to
really
do,
been-
since you can't cast magic, as far as we know.
I mean, I can't. No, I've never cast magic in my life.
A likely story.
but for the sake of this troop and for the possible trust exercise that this is, possibly, if he's still alive, which is strange that he isn't around to negotiate this, or not negotiate, what is the word? You'd think that I'd be more eloquent. I'm a little drunk.
I mean, aren't we all?
Anyways,
Yeah, I've been passing out this lager like it's going out of business.
anyways, if she does betray us, then it'll make for a good story.
Just remember, I can't betray you because I was never really on your side that much to begin with.
Still make for a good story.
Yeah.
I may
But we'll
may
make it
swing
good.
it that it was a betrayal.
But what kind of
This
story
year-
would it be if there's no one else to read it?
Well,
True.
who knows?
Who is your most loyal ally? Since when? Since when? I kind of want our rogue to answer this one. I'm going to pass it back to Kat.
Oh, sure. Who's my most loyal ally?
Yeah.
I've got to say it's always been the barbarian. I can always trust him to do what he does, which is to get very mad and hit things. He doesn't throw around a lot of accusations. He doesn't really engage in politicking. He doesn't really enjoy small talk. What he does is he takes out his fuck off big axe and he hits things with it until they stop moving.
I'll go on with
Um,
a simple mantra. If anything is wrong in this world, or anything insults me or anything, I'm just comfortable in the knowledge that I can always cleave them in half. And do it
That's-
quite easily, too.
That's all I'm really looking for in an ally, honestly. He gets to be the big target while I hide in the shadows and kill.
Interesting.
Which is
Being
good.
relative, but my axe is about twice me size.
I mean, and since I can shoot things from 600 feet away, it's not a bad deal. And since I have these goggles of night, I can see in the dark. The goggles of night are clearly not really goggles of night. that's her answer. So I guess it's Marvin's question.
What secret have you learned since you left? Who has an interest in this getting out? That's actually kind of a hard one. I don't really have...
If you don't have an answer for it, you can pass it, or we can just exit and move on, because this is pretty similar to other questions we've already had.
And as already told the big secret, the whole curse is a lie.
The beard.
Are we okay with just exiting this one and moving to the next question? Because I feel like this is our umpteenth one about what's your secret. It's like,
What's your secret? Who
I
has
feel
an
like we've
interest?
all gotten at least one what's your secret question by this
Yeah.
point. So,
Yeah, I'm alright with skipping it if you guys are.
yeah, let's give you another one.
So I answer this one?
Answer this one instead.
Okay. What did you lend to one of your companions? Why? Why? So, I lent one of you one of the most precious things I've got. And it's not anything like beer or me axe. None of you will ever touch me axe as long as I live. But it's more of a locket. A locket containing a picture of me wife. She left me a long time ago. It's because in dwarven culture, a beardless dwarf is just... It's not really the same. I don't blame her at all. It's just... I don't know. A dwarf losing his hair is like losing the favor of the gods, you know? Not many people would want to associate with that.
The gods are a fake concept created by small minds to control the weak. Sorry, go on.
Nah, that is. It's a fake concept. If the gods cared so much, they wouldn't be taking me hair so early. But no. I keep this locket on me to remind me of what I lost. And maybe what I could still get back, if only I can find a cure to male pattern baldness. But one of you has to take this locket from me. I don't want to remind myself any more of me past until the mission is done. And there's only one person here who I trust enough to not sell it off. Whether it be for a mansion or another umpteenth dozen pets. So, me ballad friend. Here, take me locket. Keep it safe.
Hello?
Maybe tell a story about her one day. Joe's a very nice
Sure,
person.
as long as you don't mind that there's some embellishments, maybe a few misquotes.
Like what?
Oh, as long as you, I may take some author's rights with it. What is the word? My brain is not working.
Liberties.
Liberties.
Yeah.
Creative liberties.
Creative liberties.
Yes, creative liberties. That's sure. Anyways.
Well, if you gotta do what you gotta do to write the story, go ahead, laddie. And if it doesn't turn
Alright,
out,
then.
I can always choke you out later. Good day.
This quest could well be a suicide mission requiring a heavy sacrifice. Who did you tell about your concern? Well, the other, members of the Temple of Nurshul, I told them about it, and they said, what do you care, really? And I said, I don't really care that much because, emotions are for the weak and blah, 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 blah. But, I kind of, just because I can't feel emotions per se, doesn't mean that I don't necessarily want to, keep living, do I? But whatever. My primary concern about why this is a suicide mission is that the paladin hasn't shown up yet, and despite all the crap that I talk about, and it's kind of essential for the success of this. So why isn't he here? At any rate, yeah. But I gotta tell the rest of this group that it's a suicide mission. Not really. Oh, maybe I should though. Maybe I should tell. Maybe I should tell the wizard to take a nap already. Hey, wizard!
What?
There's a good chance that we're all going to die if you don't sleep long enough to get your spells back. Maybe you want to sleep now.
Well, sounds kind of bad, but then again, I've died like 3 times before, and it always came back. So it's not too bad.
Because the paladin was there, and he can do that.
Oh, yes. Well, I'll figure it out. I'm sure my many pets will save me if it gets to that.
One of your pets nearly killed us already.
My presence affects you. Why?
Well, you're such a snappy dresser.
Good lord, man, that outfit would dazzle a crowd about 25 miles away.
Isn't that the point?
My character also has that exact outfit and is just as cool. Just putting that out there.
We
Doesn't
know it's a
quite fit your
minor
aesthetic.
illusion.
You're right, it's not.
The reason we could tell is it didn't move with you.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go back to the drawing board and try and think of some other cool way my character looks.
You know, if you took a long rest, you could do your disguise self spell, and then it would move with you.
Oh, that's a fun one.
And then maybe people could actually believe you.
Do you know, if you took a long rest, you might be able to do things like stop time again. That would be very helpful on this mission.
I can do that?
When
You don't know your own
sleep-
spells? How do you not know your own spells? They're written in a freaking book.
Let's just say that I haven't really gotten around to choosing a lot of them just yet. But I know there's some cool ones that I can get. I'll do that later. Maybe the next adventure. In the meantime, how about some...
There's no next adventure.
Oh, I guess this is a good one for Michael.
Okay. How do you show others that you are still indispensable to the team?
I swear to God, if you say animals, I swear.
Well, when Snickers... No, I'm indispensable because even though I don't have that thing that can let me identify items, I have another powerful skill. I took some notes. And I was going through the notebook looking at some of our earlier adventures, and I discovered we know the way to... Wait, is it Velmastas or Relmastas?
Relma.
Relma. Right, my
Relma.
V's look like R's, so that's what that explains that. Anyway, on our previous mission, we discovered there was a secret passage into her evil castle that bypassed a lot of her security. I mean, we kind of forgot about that in between adventures, but
seem to recall that.
we could, as soon as we get out of this pit, which we'll figure something out, I'm sure. Maybe like a barbarian can throw me, and then you guys can climb up my big white beard.
Yes,
Anyway.
we can throw him, and then he could probably pull a snake out of his ass, and we climb up that and his beard.
Oh, do you have
Sure.
snakes on you? Where are they? Show me the snakes.
Oh, I got some snake pets back in the village.
No, show them now. Where are they now? Where are the snakes?
All right, let me find a familiar and I'll get one. I'm gonna name it Sammy the Serpent. Anyway, we can use that secret passage. So, just goes to show, note-taking always helps.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
So, I mean, not everybody does. Maybe if just one person does it, that's enough usually.
I mean, I take notes, but then I make so many embellishments that I can't. And sometimes I don't even know if I'm telling the truth.
But I think this is it.
This is the final question, and
And
it
it's
is not
in
translated from French.
So we got our destination, and we have a way out of here. So
Right.
up you go, wizard.
Hold
We got a
Whoa.
battle to fight.
I'll Google translate it. I think it said at the beginning what this question was, but
Yeah.
well, let's just get a
But
real
right
quick
now
check
is
here.
le de combat final et son.
Final
I'm
combat.
butchering this in French, so my apologies to anyone who's fluent in French.
Your ensemble.
L'heure du combat final sont
There you go.
complétés ensemble jusqu'à après désigner tout et en même temps que vous savez. Tour de rôle raconter un épilogue, which is the hour of the final fight has come. Count together to 3. At 3, all the same time, designate who you are saving take turns
Oh,
telling an
jeez.
epilogue.
That is way different than.
Yeah, that's
That-
cool.
So I guess
Uh,
at the same time, designate who we're saving.
I feel like we should just go around and say who we're saving.
Yeah. Let me see what happens if I say choose my language and switch it to English. Nope, it just sticks to French. Okay.
Dang.
So this is who out of our group we saved in the combat?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
This-
so at the same
or-
time, so it's basically count to 3, and at that point we say who we save. Don't say yourself, okay?
Okay.
So
Don't
Um,
say yourself.
it's gonna be kind of a mess, but okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. The bard.
The
Bard.
wizard.
Barbarian.
Fuck you guys.
Oh no, we didn't save the row.
My brain kind of farted at the. So I was just like,
No, it's okay. 2 of us said the bard. Who was it? Me and Michael.
I was gonna save the bard.
Save the wizard.
So I guess I'll start first since I died. And I'm literally
Not
the only one.
necessarily. I mean, you can save yourself,
Yeah, you can save yourself, I guess.
or find some way out of the situation.
Oh yeah.
Paladin
I
swoops
never-
in and saves you.
Yeah.
I've never really relied on any of you to save me in the past. So that's fair.
I mean, you could always say that the paladin swoops in at the last second and saves your life.
I always trusted the road to save herself in any of our combats. It's
Okay.
the wizard that's got me worried.
So as we make I'll go first since I'm the one that is being saved by an NPC. I don't know.
Sure. I don't know. That's up to you. I mean, I was just
It is.
throwing it out there.
No. I like the idea. So, well, the one I chose to save was the bard. So we crawl to the top of this trap finally, and we make it to that secret door and get in. And then we are confronted by Relma Stas in all of her lichy glory, and she cackles and says, "This whole time I knew where you would arrive because I'm really good at divination because I take long rests." And then gives a long look at Michael's character. What? No? Are you experting that?
Oh no, I was just saying a long rest jab at me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go on.
Right. And then she shoots out a beam of necrotic energy at the bard, and without even thinking about it, the rogue jumps in front of the necrotic energy and takes the full blast and says, "This whole time I've been one of the dread Yuan-Ti, but I found, I don't want to say love, but not a blank feeling of hatred towards you this whole time. And that's about as good as I was going to do. I regret nothing except selling the sword."
No!
Well, we can bring him back, guys. Not that big a deal.
Oh yeah. That kind of gets rid of the concept of death in our world, doesn't it? We have ready available resurrection.
Depends
Yeah.
on how much time has passed.
All right. Well, let's decide that right away. In the meantime, I know just how to stop the lich and also still save both of you guys. I was looking through my inventory. I have these things called pittons. Does anyone know what pittons are?
Piton?
I mean, I know it.
Pittons, pythons. They're in there.
Pitons.
You
Pitons.
mean pythons?
No.
Pitons.
Yeah. Okay.
Aren't those the things that you use in climbing?
Yes. Anyway, I throw those at the lich.
Didn't you use magic or anything? This wizard's gonna get himself
Pitons.
killed.
Pitons. Anyway, I hurl a bunch of pitons at her, and that distracts her. Meanwhile, the sword falls out of is there on the ground, and now someone else can finish the job. I keep on throwing those pitons.
Well, I'm flying into the deep-seated rage of seeing one of my companions fall, and then seeing my wizard friend not actually use magic or anything, but instead throwing pitons at the lich. This whole situation's just This whole thing's going wrong, and I hate it! I hate it! And in that moment of his rage, the biggest rage he's ever had, his mohawk grows back.
Oh,
And our barbarian charges forward at the Lich and just swings away. Hey, grappling her, biting her. You're swinging her axe, just doing anything to try and hurt the Lich. And maybe give someone an opportunity to grab that sword and finish the job.
Yes, because the Lich is closing in on the barbarian and he's very badly hurt. And the only person who can save the barbarian is the bard. Somehow.
So
come on, Bard.
You
use
can
the
only do
sword.
so much.
last ditch effort, I guess. In the moment of distraction, I was just like, I look at the barbarian, look at the sword, look at the barbarian, look at the sword. I was like, oh, you could have just grabbed the sword and quickly grab it.
I refuse to use anything but me ancestral axe.
And that is why you almost died. And like
It's his
right
character
as like,
flaw.
and like right as you see like the what looks like the final blow from the Lich, you see just this flash of like around at her neck, and she sort of stops, and then her head just falls off.
Yes.
I pick
I
up the
kicked
head,
the
and
head.
it's like, oh, I was gonna,
Wait.
I need that for a trophy.
I was gonna kick the head. All right, lad. Do you want to keep the head? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I just said head twice.
That was a class A. That was a pun worthy of a bard. Now, let's see. Is our paladin finished resurrecting our rogue friend?
The paladin's here.
I've been here the whole time. Ha ha!
We
Everyone
could have
because of
used-
me. Yay!
We could
the
have used
paladin.
your help, you selfish bastard.
Oh, I was running a little. I fell into a trap, which I sent my trusty rat ahead.
Oh, see? Pets are cool.
It's a great idea for how to disable a trap.
My thoughts exactly.
Oh,
All right.
the ones
Bring our
people took.
rogue back and let's get looting.
Okay.
But I remembered something very important. The phylactery.
Oh yeah, where's that thing?
The what?
We haven't destroyed the phylactery yet.
Hey, what? Why am I alive? Oh, I mean, hi. Did I say anything about snake people when I was dying? Just ignore that. We'll all get
Well,
drinks
it's in my
tonight.
notes, but I'll
We'll all get drinks tonight. It's gonna be great.
I'll cross them out of my notes.
First, we need to find that phylactery.
Yes. Let's avoid getting drunk this time and actually do our jobs.
And I don't know if you guys are okay with this, but I really like the idea of the paladin just be like, oh no, I destroyed it a long time ago.
This is just
What?
about time.
Yes, this was entirely a trust exercise. This was an animated scarecrow.
I'm gonna shoot them. I'm
Who
going to
wants
choke
do
the paladin.
trust
All right, well, you do
You know-
that. I'm going to go have a nap now.
You know, paladin, if this didn't make for a good story, I would wring your neck along with that barbarian.
Well, you're telling me this entire adventure, bringing us back together after a decade, killing the Lich that we thought we killed the first time, and putting so many people in danger,
Mhm.
it's just a trust exercise.
And a lesson. Complete what you set out to do.
Hey, can you guys keep it down? I need to have a nap. I'm trying to sleep here, just on the ground.
Oh, right.
A little weird, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a nap. Good night.
Well, if we're done here, I'm going to go back to doing something that isn't trying to destroy the world for the snake people. So, bye.
Great.
Barbarian rage grows his beard back. Seems all he really needed to do was get angry.
Well, if you want
Yeah.
that beard back, I think I've heard tales of a belt called the Belt of Dwarven Kind. I heard that grows beards on people.
And it also helps you speak Dwarvish.
I am already both of those things. You have angered me more than I have ever been angered in a single day.
But it grew your beard back. You're welcome.
And that is the only reason I haven't taken me axe to your scaly hide.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get drunk now. Maybe talk to me wife. Who knows? Excuse me.
Okay. So do we want to do like an epilogue or?
I mean, I guess.
I think we kind of covered. I don't know. I feel like the
Oh,
characters
just sort of, yeah. Well, do we split off or not? I mean, I figured like I'd be like telling a tale of this thing and making
Yeah.
it more embellishments, leaving out the fact that it was a trust exercise, and because everyone knows that a tale that with that kind of a twist is just stupid.
I mean, the rogue just goes back to her mansion where, she's doing horrible things with the other Yuan-Ti down in the basement. And, they don't ever manage to destroy the world. Spoiler alert.
Some other adventuring group comes in.
I think the wizard is totally down to adventure again. The problem is, like, weekend evenings really aren't that good for me. Like most weekdays, like, usually later afternoon. However, I kind of like Mondays to myself. Maybe Wednesdays. I don't know if other people's schedules line up with that. So just let me know. Reply in the group chat, and we'll see if we can find time. But because I totally want to keep adventuring.
Most meta answer that I've.
That's an incredibly meta answer.
And our dwarf barbarian friend goes back to his homeland. Tries to find his ex-wife, finds her, and says to her, "Wife, look at me head now. I'm no longer a front to the gods." "Oi, yeah, but what kept you from the home for 10 years, you selfish bastard? Wouldn't you have written or anything? I didn't leave you. I just left you to go find yourself. I knew you needed it. I mean, a barbarian, not having a reason to rage. I know that puts you down something fierce. But it's nice to know. It's nice to know you found yourself." You mean all of that was another exercise? Yes, and you passed with flying colors.
In the background, you hear the bard. Oh, come on!
Wait, the paladin was your wife in
No,
disguise?
she put on a trust exercise of herself.
Oh,
He needs
thanks
some
to
time for
my
himself.
thanks to reading my manual on trust exercises for adventuring groups.
Yes, I found this. Being married to an adventurer. It's written by this fine lizard folk man. Wrote a whole list of things. It's like, when they're suffering an existential crisis due to their backstory, let them be by themselves for a while. They'll figure themselves out. Go on a grand adventure. I mean, sure, it took a decade, but we're dwarves. We lived for centuries anyways.
It's much more appropriate than his cookbook, which is called Everything Can Be Eaten.
And the dwarf barbarian promptly gets drunk at the revelation of this. Both of the adventures have been incredibly stupid.
It's true. We are
No one knows that except for the group.
We
Because
are
One knows.
we're an exceptionally stupid adventuring group, but the bard always makes it seem as though we're not.
Yeah.
Like,
We're
he
the
tells
greatest
us
heroes in the land.
There's
Well,
several
incredible-
statues.
According to the
built
bard.
us, according to the bard. I mean, when it comes right down to it, he's kind of, the capable one and kind of been the one to tell all the stories about us. So,
I mean, neither.
so, yeah.
He's the only one of the group that can really talk to people. I mean, none of us have charisma out of our ass for anything.
So I think we ran out of time for Cake.
Yeah,
Because
we're
it's
about.
8:50.
It's almost,
It's eight.
it's almost.
We
9.
were having way too much fun
Yeah, we
with
were
this, I
having
think.
Yeah, we had a
fun
lot.
with
We had
this.
we had a lot more embellishments with this one than the last one.
With the parody of the D&D group.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on this rogue to be a Yuan-Ti, but then it just kind of, that's where the story went.
Yeah.
So
There was those secrets. There was so many, like, you have a secret.
so many secrets. Why?
So many.
Why?
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 Why was the last card in French and it couldn't be translated? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I-
still, translations or not, I think this was a lot of fun. Like,
it was fun.
good
Yeah.
secrets, good D&D antics.
Mhm.
Yep.
Alas, there is no cake. The cake
No.
was a lie.
Sorry. Yeah, indeed. The cake was the lie, ladies and gentlemen.
Perhaps another
We're
time.
in the future, so
Yes,
don't.
perhaps another
Future,
time.
there will be cake.
Yeah, anytime an adventure ends shortly. Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, we can always pull it out.
There could be cake.
Yeah.
I feel like we advertised cake, and that was false advertising.
Yeah.
Because
Sorry,
the
everyone.
cake is a lie. It's really that simple.
Yes.
We know the fact that that last show we finished like what was it, half
an
hour,
hour.
45 minutes
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Really early. And this time out, it was just like, once
Yeah.
we decided we were doing a
Contingency
rip
plan.
on D&D, we just...
We just really got into it, and it just
Wait,
There's a few things that we could go over, like thank you, Gray Mouse, for being very interactive, and there's a couple of things that here. First of all, this was like an hour ago. I think the dwarf really could use a therapist.
you really could. You really could.
Forgot those great issues.
Yeah.
The only thing more traumatizing for a dwarf would be shaving him, not just going bald.
That was great. I thought that was amazing. Thank you so much, Gray Mouse. And there's so many things that was put in here. The dwarf isn't really a dwarf. The dwarf is an elf in disguise that lost his prosthetic beard. There's I thought that was really funny. Gosh, there's just a lot of stuff going here. And then the last one, of course, since we were talking about cake just now, Gray Mouse says cake and grief counseling will be available after the test. So thank you so much. There's so many more in there from Gray Mouse. Thank you for watching, Gray Mouse. And
Yeah, thanks for watching.
and if who knows, is the cake a lie or is it just
Only time will tell.
yes?
Only time
we
will
don't
tell.
know.
I'm
So
up
you
for cake whenever.
yeah, so you have to stay tuned. So, and I'll give you even like if you're watching, I'll give you a little. Whoa, there's a big pic. You guys can't see this at all, but a nice big piece of cake around your faces. But
Aw.
okay,
Can
I'll
you
go
at
back.
least describe it to us?
It's it depends on how you feel about this. It's moist.
I mean, you do want that as a trait in cake.
Right.
I know some people
That's
don't
the
like
one.
that word.
Just a little
That's
bit.
the one time where that
You wanna use
word is so appropriate and non-offensive.
One time.
Yeah.
That's
Any
it.
other time you use that word, it just ugh.
Like,
But with cake,
yeah, it was
yes.
like, is it humid outside? It's kind of moist. I was like, oh, that doesn't make me feel good.
Maybe in the context of like apple pie, maybe.
Yeah,
But,
maybe.
Pastries.
But cake for sure.
Cake
Cake
for
for
sure.
sure.
Like, you can't
Yeah.
dry cake, wet cake. Well, hold on, tiramisu.
I feel like my
absolutely.
heat rash is maybe part of my UNT outfit for the evening.
Nice.
Yeah.
So in character.
Yeah, it's like,
Apropos.
these are scales. No, I just
I'm just really freaking hot because I'm in the Northwest.
I'm in the
in
Northwest.
the United
and
States right now.
There's no AC up here, and there was a heat
Yeah,
wave, and
sorry to hear that.
got
Yeah.
a bit of a heat rash going down.
So, yes, it's a rough time for the Northwest. That is for sure. People, stay safe out there. Other than that, who knows?
Invest in an evaporative cooler.
Yes.
Oh no, they say I looked about the evaporative coolers, and they said do not use these in the Pacific.
Oh,
Northwest.
too much humidity.
Mold.
Yeah, because
Okay.
The
you are
Northwest
just
loves mold.
you're asking for mold.
So,
Good to know.
back to cake.
Yes.
Let's see what happens. Will there be cake? I don't
Will there
know.
be cake?
You will
I
have
mean,
to
I'm
tune
up
in
for it.
next time we're live broadcasting. But until then, pull up a chair and make time to tabletop.
Tabletop.
All right, guys. We will see you all very soon.
Uh,
Good night, everybody. Do not